if a family in the city had the money to move to the suburbs for schools, well, that would be a choice.
But what about the families in the city that don't have the money to make that move? What choice do they have? If they don't win the charter school lottery, their children have to enroll in the worst ranked school district in the state.
That's why Berkeley Brean traveled to Washington, D.C., which is the capital of school choice. In Berkeley at 5, we promised to look into who's blocking choice in Rochester. So, who's doing it?
Janet, it's the people who control the school system the way we know it now. That's the answer that we got from public school reformers that I talked to in Washington, D.C. You're going to hear them explain that in a moment, and then you can react. But first, another child in a seemingly better place because her mother was able to choose her school.
Or the opposite of that could be what?
This is Jade Yates. She wants to make music, and she wants that music to help people.
I know that a lot of people in the world are going through a lot of things and depression, and I think music really helps people.
Jade is in the 11th grade at Wright Charter School in Washington, D.C. It's a charter school focused on journalism and media arts. Coming here was a choice her mother made.
I think choice is just that. I think that a lot of times parents feel shackled to their school in the neighborhood.
Dante, put the jacket. Where's your jacket, sir?
Dr. Marco Clark is the founder and principal at Wright. He makes a promise to every parent that their child will be accepted to a college, and he posts the acceptance letters on his office wall.
The question I ask is, will public schools do that? Do they make that type of promise? Are they bold? Do they have the audacity to say things that charter leaders and schools of choice actually have the opportunity to do? We stand by our product.
Since school choice became law in D.C., its overall graduation rate has increased 10%. But look at this. Rochester City School Board President Van White tells us since he took office, the overall grad rate in Rochester has gone up 10%.
When I got sworn in at number 50 school, where I graduated, where I attended when I was a kid, the graduation rate, four-year graduation rate was 39%. Now, we're not happy, but in August of last year, the graduation rate was 48%. That's almost 10 percentage points.
But in terms of choice, 45% of all children in D.C. go to charter schools. Only 14% of children in the city of Rochester attend charters. That's 4,200 out of 28,000.
Folks in Western New York and the rest of the state really do need these options, and so we should put some more emphasis on how we can scale up school choice in those areas.
And who's stopping that?
The teachers' unions. I mean, the status quo, people who are afraid of change.
So what should parents be demanding then? Should they be getting on the phone and calling the New York State United Teachers Office and Rochester Teachers Association office?
They won't listen to them. What needs to happen is legislative change so that it takes away the power from those special interest groups and puts the power back in the hands of parents.
So tomorrow night in our exclusive report, New York State Exposed Education, I'm going to take those comments straight to Rochester Teachers Union President Adam Urbanski. He's going to answer every question I give him, and he's going to tell you something that he thinks will surprise you. Janet?
And if people of Berkeley feel strongly about this, what can they do?
We think they can go right to the top. You can tell the governor that he's got to do something. Now, we understand that can be intimidating to deal with the governor, so we made it easy for you. Here's his phone number. It's 518-474-8390, or you can email him at governor.nygov/contact. Now, here's what else we did. We composed a sample email or letter that you can use as a starting point to send to the governor. You can find that at WHEC.com. Click on Power of Choice on the banner near the top of the page. Here's the sample letter right here. You can add your name. You can say where you live if you want. It details the serious problems in the city schools. It's got the governor's address, and it's got a link. So you can click on that, copy, paste it, send that email right to him.
All right, Berkeley, thank you very much.
And remember, you can find all the stories from our Power of Choice series by going to our website, WHEC.com. Just search for Power of Choice. Well, it's a little